The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent, including Olas Media.
Olas Media.
I am your host, Mr. Wowzer. We are the Dodi Connection. Today, we are going to be talking about some very, very deep topics that I feel is going to touch your soul, as well as recommend you to some great products from Cold Fire Extracts and True Classics, True OG. Trust me, it's going to hit you hard.
Wow.
Anya, Monsieur Panya Rajklats and Bummerklats. I am your host, Mr. Wowzer, back with another special episode of TDOC. Now, TDOC Universe, I got a dope guest that I can't wait to introduce you guys to. But first, you know how I like to do it. Huge shout out to my sponsors, Cold Fire Extracts, March and Ash. What up, Dodi? I got a dope record of mine that I got to play for you guys from an album of mine, The Ballads of Mr. Wowzer. It's called Rockstar Lifestyle. I love this record because it's the only neo-soul song like this. Hello, let's go.
I asked Pot to help aside, and I got some help from Badass too. R.I.P. the Folk Ghost.
Straight ballin'. I hear Benji Franklin calling. Living my life straight ballin'. I hear your girlie texting and calling. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. When you hear Gaia calling you and you don't respond cause you ballin' and you all into your rock star lifestyle. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Yeah, that hopped on the Abbey, then I took a left. Look at my neck dripping down VVS. Living this key stacking up like a straight twist. You can see why by the check. And you knocky done took gold. Lots of cost, that's why now I'm the boss. I need a band behind me for these moments in life. Aerosmith type shit, rock star. Hey. Living my life straight ballin'. I hear Benji Franklin calling. Living my life straight ballin'. I hear your girlie texting and calling. Life of a rock star, straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Life of a rock star, straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. You can give them the whole playbook. Don't mean they gon' pick up the ball and shoot. Straight ballin'. Watch me jump out of the gym like Kobe. Straight ballin'. Ballin' on all of these phones. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like CTE back in 07, the way I stay focused. Driven and motivated by the dollar sign. No time for lanes that's bogus. I on my way to the tip top. Ice pack on my neck, go drip drop. Smoke clocks while the time go tick tock. Go hard or go home, no pit stops. Living my life straight ballin'. I hear Benji Franklin calling. Living my life straight ballin'. I hear your girlie texting and calling. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life straight ballin'. Life of a rock star. Straight ballin'. Living my life
Hello. Yes, Lord. You know the time. Now, we got more bills to pay. But we'll be right back after a while word from our sponsor. Wow, wow.
Cold fire extracts.
It's amazing.
The taste is great, clean and pure. It's loud like flowers, super tasty.
It has great effects and a long-lasting buzz.
This is why Cold Fire is the #1 go-to vape in the cannabis space.
Wow, you know it's that time.
It's time for our special guest.
Hello, welcome back to TDOC. I'm your host, Mr. Wow, wow, wow. Now, my special guest that I have in the building, listeners, have you ever met somebody for the first time and you felt like you've known them forever? Just that energy. It's like, damn, I felt I met you in the past life. That's how I felt with my guest that I have here today. As soon as I met him, it was just a warming, welcoming, inviting, familiar face. I felt like I'd known this man before.
Oh yeah, bless.
No cap, right? Like, feel like I met him before in my past life. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the importance of a few things with him, but I'm gonna keep it a surprise for y'all. Let me introduce my guest, Artie Gilliam. How you doing, my guy?
Welcome.
How was the ride over here, guys?
Pleasure to be here. Honestly, it's moving forward.
Yeah, that art looking. I'm seeing the merchandise. Can't wait to get on that.
Yeah, diving straight into it, man.
Easy, killer. So let's go ahead and get to the meat of this. How was life growing up for you, specifically in San Diego, California? What year were you born? Can I ask that?
I was born in '87.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's talk the real Dago. You've been out here.
Yeah,
talk to me.
Born and raised San Diego, North County. Shout out to Vista and Oceanside. And I love it because it's very cultural, very diverse. Grew up in a very structured home. Mm-hmm. So I had both sides of the thing, neighborhood, family members that are, rougher side, in the hood, Dago.
Yeah, Dago.
Then I grew up, and I grew up also in the suburbs.
Right,
so,
right.
With all the skaters and gangsters.
Right.
And so it's a nice dynamic of both, pretty much at the well structured where kept us in sports,
right.
Kept us well educated, kept us in that right footing,
right.
And being in San Diego, being so diverse in the whole area, you get mixed culture. So,
yeah, right.
One step, you're in the hills,
right,
with the white people,
right.
And then at the same time, you go one block over.
You're
checking your flags. So,
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And especially at that time, it was a big population of cultures here. Like, it wasn't like, it's 5% black people out here now.
Yeah.
At that time, that was a majority of San Diego, like, and Mexicans too.
No, growing up in the 2000s, you really felt that society where that the tokenisms.
Yeah, I do. I know what you're talking about. Damn, that's deep.
There's a phrase that I always stuck with where it's like too black to be white, but then too white to be black.
Easy killer. Easy killer.
So,
it's easy to dive in. I like how you put that. It's easy to dive into a lot of to get into art. I feel like being around those environments like that, moving around like that, and not just staying boxed in one. So that will make me segue to my next question with you. Is that the moment, or do you remember the moment that made you inspired to want to dwell into fashion and art?
Honestly, it started off young. My mom, she was working for the Fashion Institute as a teacher.
Oh, wow.
And then so having that structure, having two parents that were well into their culture, in the black community, but also up and coming in the 90s and 2000s, just being hip, being introduced to Tupac when I was, still in elementary school.
Oh, God.
My parents,
Bruh, I remember Shorty Want to Be It. That's like, everybody has that moment when they 5. You look at your hands. You're like, am I here?
Yeah.
I'm Deontay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the moment, like Tupac saying Shorty Want to Be a Thug. I'm like, and I'm hearing this, and I'm like, I'm going to rap.
Exactly.
Man, good shit. But go ahead. Yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
No, but it even stems from, the Tony Hawk days. all my friends were, up and coming, wanting to be skaters, wearing skate shoes, the DC.
I had the Andy McDonald's. I'm sorry. Pay less, thank you.
I can't even lie. The pay less, kept us bread.
All right, the Airwalks too.
All that. I remember switching out the laces and putting the socks in the tongues and making them,
Yeah, I used to skate too. You know what I did, bro? Fucked around, tried to do a Japan, like grab in a rail manual. Nigga, it fell so, like I popped like the game. Pow! And I was a really big kid back. Fucked my shit up, nigga. I tried not to cry and I just.
Well, there was a certain status quo with the kids growing up. You can't just be the poser. Everybody wanted to have the board and the cool fit and all that.
Yeah.
But you got to be out there in the street too.
Yeah.
With your ollie game, like, you ollieing up the curb, or you gonna step off your board and walk.
Yeah, right, right. Or you just
riding or hiding. And so that really kept the credibility up there. And so merging both, the hip hop scene, also with the skaters, putting those both together, just kind of influenced where I am now.
That's dope. That's dope, and I think that's amazing that you fuse those, because Tony Hawk was really good at fusing cultures in those games. Because of course, my mom is not. She's a traditional woman. Grew up on funk and shit. So hearing rock music to her is just screaming. Where because of these games, because I watch wrestling too, like rock is one of my favorite. I got a rock album. Like rock is literally one of my favorite genres. As high as I hold hip hop, it's as high as I hold rock music.
No, 100%.
Because of games like that opened me up to different things, and I'm like, damn, this shit sounds dope. Like Bad Religion is crazy.
They neglected it young, but they learned to appreciate it.
Right, because not everybody back then did that. You're right. In San Diego, it was really scene-wise, if you was a banger, you was a banger. So you didn't hear too many Bloods or Crips talking about I knock rock. Exactly. They couldn't because it looked weird, and they'll get DP'd, and
that's
real serious repercussions.
Bring up, man. Like being in that culture, wanting to be the skater, but having all these friends in the hood. It's like now they're calling me quote unquote
square.
Yeah, I know. All that.
I know that.
Wearing the skate Vans before the song came out.
Right,
got my Vans on.
Right, got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
I was doing all that. I was pre-Tyler Creator days, with the cut-off Dickies and all that. It was just a culture of San Diego County.
Right.
And the same thing, Tony Hawk was from this original area too. So all that's bred into this environment. It's like product of your environment.
Yeah. Well put, man. I'm glad you're putting the real Dago out there. So what's a main emotion art or fashion brings to you?
For me, it's inspiring. It's forever evolving.
Well said. Please elaborate.
For me, I think of it as it's not so much of the trends, because everybody gets hot on, social media, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the influencers.
Right.
It's about the future, the youth, so it's not necessarily about the ripped jeans or the things that people like now. It's about inspiring what's the future hold for these kids.
Right.
And that's what I like about celebrities nowadays. They're not only going after the big brands, everybody wants to be dripped down in the designer, but they're reaching out to these masses and like collaborating with some of these up and coming, these one-offs. And for me, that's your next big break. One person with the right networking could be that, that open the door,
No, you're right. Shout out to Derek Kraft from Elevated. Give him a shout out. We was talking today, right? For our interview, and he shared with me one of his best friends is a woman named Harmony. We want to get her on the show. She was painting. She was just a hungry painter. She was trying to sell her paintings for $5,000. Ran into Nas.
Yeah.
King's Disease. He's doing this album. I need a painting for my. They charged him $15,000 for that cover.
Right.
That won a Grammy. So Nas come back. Now this is Nas. The stature of Nas, just like all that we do. You know what I mean? We understand how, comes back, charges him $30,000. Now Drake bought 2 pictures from her. LeBron bought 2 pictures from her. Her highest, her rate now is $800,000. And it's just that story to me. Wow, like what?
Yeah, this is really our version of the gold rush.
Right. And it's like you said, it took an artist to just be like, I could mess with them, but let me find something here and just boost somebody. And
that's where I've been bubble up for a long time. I've just been working on my craft, not so much promoting it and putting it out there yet, because every time I do, everybody wants a handout. Everybody wants to, to downgrade it. Where, I put a lot of craft and skill. That's why I brand myself work of art. It's a play on words. My work, my craft, but it also is a masterpiece.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so keeping yourself at that high standard, not, you know, going down a level just so you can, you know, fit in or get your name out there. You will eventually find that one big break and
revolutionize the world, right?
Exactly.
Right. So I like how you put that. So I do have some questions for you off record, but off paper, but I'm gonna ask this last one because I'm curious about this. How does your clothing brand represent the masses in its entirety to you? How do you feel like it represents society?
With today's day and age, I'm looking for bringing in, for one, positivity, you know, trying to bring out, you know, those bright colors, those, you know, not so much, you know, plain black and white, but also non-binary. I believe that if you have dope shit on, people gonna wear it. It could be something slim fit for men or something baggy fit for women or vice versa. If you have something cool, it doesn't really have to be, you know, with today's style, it's so versatile. You know, you got men wearing skirts, you have women wearing, you know, full baggy suits.
Yeah.
And so if you just if I put the same emphasis on my craft and just produce the same type of quality everywhere, it's no more what side am I going to play for.
Right.
I'm for the masses.
Right. Which makes sense. I'm glad you, that was really a good point. I'm glad you said that for this show. I'm gonna share a little story. I worked at Route 21 in Oklahoma, Muskogee, and River City Plaza, shout out. But I was able to run the girls department, men's department, and the plus size department because I was good at, you know, keeping the shop clean, and I was assistant manager. So,
right.
Long story short, you seen girls do trickle over to, right. It was a few guys that seen some things because it was baggy clothes at that time coming out for girls, the shit that baggy cargos and shit, but they wanted that kind of baggy out there. They were making all the jeans too slim for the guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay, like what's going on with fashion? At that time, this is 2017. So at that time, I'm like, what's going on with fashion? You know what I mean?
Everybody's doing skinny jeans back then.
Yeah, you remember. So I'm like, why are they going to the baggy now? Like, so I think that's really a great representation of today's society to make things non-binary because that's where we at right now. Is a very neutral and gray space, especially for us as a gender and for women. I feel like it's a new thing that we're finding with ourselves now. Yeah. Instead of these misogynistic views of women are like this and men are like that. And the funny thing about it is we don't even know where to start with us because, you know what I mean? Our whole life we've been, so now it's like you got the chance to have the emotional, sensitive side of yourself and kind of tackle duality. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
It's confusing. It can be confusing if you're not ready for it. Excuse me.
And at the same time, it's still, you know, I want to keep it right, you know, right on the line. You know, not so much, you know, super colorful of this or super, you know, black and gray, very square, you know, just very open, you know. So everyday people wear everyday pants and T-shirts. So if you can make something that stands out a little bit more unique than the rest, you know, people are obviously going to gravitate towards you.
Yeah, well said, well said. Now, before I ask this question off paper, I know that you, you know, your family, March and Ash, hello, shout out. You do a great service as a concierge. I'm speaking as one that was downstairs. So I want to ask you the importance to you as a cannabis concierge. How important is it to be a concierge to somebody who doesn't know marijuana at all, but they want to fix an ailment in their body? Or explain to my listeners about how important that is, please, your job.
For me, it's not even starting off as a cannabis concierge. It's about being personal, to giving someone that respect. Right. You know, they're coming here looking for a service, and I tell them straight up, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here to take your money. You know, I'm here to best guide you to what you're looking for. And I treat everybody with the same amount of respect, you know, just trying to really just dial in, you know, treat it almost like a tournament bracket. This is what you're looking for. I'm going to find you as many closest as items as possible at the best price possible, keep you happy, to keep you come back.
Yeah, that was well said.
Yeah,
that was well said.
I want people to come back and say, "Hey, what you said, what you gave me advice on, that worked well. I want more of that." Or, "Hey, it didn't quite work," and you're honest and say, "Let's fine tune that, find something else."
Right. It's very important. It's very important, and you do a great service. I know for a fact that like you had numerous people. Thank you so much. You really helped me with, and I feel like you can't buy that.
No, I try to be super humble.
Oh, you ain't trying. You doing it, really, okay?
I appreciate
Hello.
you a lot.
You doing it. So, because you do love cannabis, right?
Of course.
Right. We're going to get into that too. And you love fashion. How do you collaborate your love for cannabis with your love for art?
When I first started, found the name, and I was all inspired by the plant itself, Well, of course, we've all smoked weed and, got a little spaced out and things like that. But I really tried to use that to my advantage and fine tune what's going to make me different. And I started off with, kind of like the original hippie mindset. I was making tie-dye shirts, selling them at the beach. I was also doing little edibles and then, coincide together back when in California or San Diego was doing the little secret pop-up show.
Oh yeah, pop-up.
Little parties and stuff. I had my little corner on a table, and I was first got established with that, and merge them two together, and really take time just to not only push a product, but also show there's something cool you can hold on to and keep as a keepsake. Flash. Have that San Diego, California vibe,
Right, which is a big emphasis that we want to give. You feel me? Please tell my listeners about where they can find your merchandise.
Right now, I'm bubbling hard on Instagram.
Right.
But my Instagram is a work of art. Definitely put that in the description and all that.
Right. WRK, right?
Yeah, WRK.OF.ART.
Yeah. Right.
Get that right.
Right. Good job. So what's next for Artie, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm working on collaborations with other brands. I'm really been tapping in with San Diego, some other companies out here.
I got to ask you know A-Phase?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really a
You
small
guys
world.
going to collaborate?
I'm not putting that out there right now, but it's definitely
NDAs,
something in the works.
No exclusives? I'm not a journalist. But okay.
Yeah, we definitely like to rub shoulders and try to get something cool. I'm thinking summertime, wintertime. There's a certain craft to what I do, and so if I can put my spin on somebody else's work and we can both bubble up, it's great.
Right.
But for me, I'm tapping into jewelry line. It's kind of in the works right now, but I was bouncing from different music cultures last summer, and found this scene, the rave scene, that they embrace positivity through their connection, through their bracelets. And so with that, something similar but more on like an upscale, bringing
that's deep
and peace.
That's
and
what the bracelets
positivity.
is. I've been to a rave, one rave in my life. You know where the airport is? They got a warehouse by the airport.
Oh yeah, they do the little secret pop-ups all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Had a ball in there.
It's definitely
I had a ball.
Yeah. But they speak on a quick acronym is PLUR, and it's about peace, unity, respect, and peace, love, unity, and respect. And so as you're passing your bracelets, you're providing that to your friends, people next to you, the culture.
Right.
And so with that same type of mentality, bringing that to my brand.
Right. So before we go to our segment, let me ask you this personally. Are you a big person on like chakra awareness? Because it feels like that. You want to rave, you're talking about plur, you're talking about connecting in certain ways.
I do believe in spirituality, but to a certain extent. I was also raised, very religious background. And so I believe in all of those. I believe in higher being.
Yeah, I do too. I don't ever put my politics out there, but I do too, the same way you do.
Yeah, so I believe in that positive energy. What you put out is what you receive.
Right.
And so however you may want to take that, may it be crystals, may it be your faith.
Right.
All of the above.
Dog, you're lit. Good shit. For my listeners, I know you understood that well too. Good. That was well explained. So I'm gonna take you to my topics and solutions segment. I give some topics and solutions. I get your opinion. You cool with that, right?
Let's get it.
With Pelts and Bills, we'll be right back after that.
It's cool time. Tavares Jordan.
Welcome back to TDOC. I'm your host, Mr. Wow, 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 with my special guest, Big Art. I'm going to take it to the topics and solutions, right? The dangers of synthetic cannabinoids. Yes, I can't wait to talk to you because you are certified. Certified.
You know, let's get it.
Sometimes packaged as e-juice for vaping or as edibles, most synthetic cannabinoids are sold as dry plant materials, sprayed with acetone embalming fluids, or other solvent-laced, lab-made psychoactive substances. I always stumble on that part because, look, you see the word right there? I'm not supposed to. I need to delete that. But it's not just a U.S. problem. This has become an international problem with data that lists at least 320 different synthetic cannabinoids sold on the illegal market as of February 2022. How you feel about that, Big Art?
That's horrible, man. As someone who grows their own produce, vegetable-wise, and now dabbling into the cannabis world again, living soil is everything for me. And so to have a product that's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, words you can't even pronounce, like, how is that going to be good for me, you know? And so, simple and plain, that's a big no-no.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, can't even pronounce the name. It's facts. It's just, especially because you're certified, it's super unfortunate to see somebody who might be buying from you, right, who really wants to get the medicinal value. You give them some fentanyl weed.
And even being from California and going to other states and going to CBD shops or the, little boutiques and, backdoor shops and seeing some of those products, I just don't see how that's can't be more regulated, Right.
It's
not so much about the dollar, it's about our health.
Right.
And seeing that big, that big jump scare within the last 10 years of people falling out, dying just off the vape.
Right.
Like, what is that?
Like, what is that, bro?
I never was really, addicted to tobacco, nicotine, but I felt a certain way once the industry took away the flavored vapes. But now that it's gone, I see the health benefits,
Big time.
Yeah.
I'm a vapor, so, like, I feel it in my body. How different. Yeah, there was some weird shit in there, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me. And I'm going to share this story. I'm not burning out the bud tender from the trap, but a lady came up really happy about the vape pens that was sold to her. It's definitely trash. Trust me. It's not legal at all.
Yeah.
But she was an old white lady, and she was really telling this bud tender, like, thank you so much. I love these. The bud tender did? She didn't care because she just did to get a check. Oh, whatever. And I'm thinking, like, damn, but that should have killed her. You should have just told her, like, don't buy this no more. Here, take us. I can't say their name. Sorry, but yeah,
that's what we used to call hot dog water.
Facts. So I got some solutions. Make sure you're getting safe and tested cannabis products from a legal retailer. I know you agree with that.
100%.
If you see your child, or if you have kids and you see your child with candy or snacks in your house and you got edibles, double check the packaging. It's been a problem. Yeah, has been a problem. I've been making it aware because I'm a father. Please don't have your kids eat no edibles.
The last thing I would want to do is bring that around my family, and always keep them locked up, keep them away, keep them out of even their sleep, out of sight, out of mind. I love the industry, the job that I have, but that's where we draw the line. Their kids and with their brains are already way too developed with their TikToks and everything else. So the last thing you need to do is alter that mindset too early.
Yeah,
I get choked up talking about it.
No. I get it because you're right. TikTok is poison. So picture they get influence off this. It's going to make them join it because they don't know. They just seeing TikTok. They're not like part. But hey, man, I put it like this. You seen that thing with Charleston White?
No, what you talking about?
He said, man, when I wore a bow tie, y'all wasn't listening to me. So I started talking ignorant like the people y'all like. Now y'all hearing me. So let's talk. That's how you create dialogue, like Tupac said. But long story short, he was like 5% of kids right now are catching HIV. 36% of kids can't even read above their grade level.
That's wild.
21% of kids, this is little kids to teenagers, are actively having sex right now. Who's leading them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, like
the evolution of the child's mindset nowadays from the decade that we grew up in is. I'm afraid of the future. You really got to keep your kids close. And
we grew up fast. You're right.
Yeah,
we grew up fast.
We grew up fast, and they're on going 100 miles an hour right now. So
I keep my kids in the kids' place, thankfully.
Yeah.
Unless they're lying to me about something.
That's all I'm trying to bring it to you. Say, gotta keep them close and keep them well educated, because today's world is wicked, bro.
Man, you know, one thing that people don't see is my father's side. I'm a great father. That's say less. I ain't even gotta like dwell in that too much. Like, I'm an amazing father. I'm very honest with my kids. They would never do nothing like that to me. They don't want to deal with me on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that 100%.
Yeah, that.
Sophia, Layla, Ava, and Mariah.
Oh, my mama.
Yeah,
like, we got to keep it like that, though, you know, because we don't want to get hurt from that either. And do not support unregulated cannabis. You feel me?
Get back to it.
Let's get back to it. And do not support unregulated cannabis. Do not do it. Come to our shop or any other retailer that has something legal. And make sure you get the medicinal and recreational, the entourage effect from the weed that you're smoking or edible you're eating or tincture you're The next one I want to talk to you about, because we talked about the importance of a concierge, right? The importance of health and wellness. Now, I think it's very important with any profession, especially this one, to understand the importance of health and wellness and staying healthy and why it's important. You know what I mean? Because it makes us feel better.
Exactly.
Be more productive and ultimately live longer. Health is the state of complete physical and mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Wellness is an active process that through which people become aware of and make choices towards a more successful existence. How do you feel about that?
I want to say mental health is just as important as physical health. You know, you can be in the gym, you know, shredded body, all that, and mind still be bonkers. So taking that extra time for that self-care, you know, speaking out, finding the help what you need when you need it. I'm a big advocate for that, you know, especially being a male, a man of color, and then just always having that suppressed, you know, thinking that was okay. Health is wealth, you know, mental health is huge.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I'm like a big advocate with you on men's mental health, because people don't really care about how we feel. And I'm sorry, I'm not blanketing everybody, but it's a stigma that men are not supposed to express themselves. Them old misogynistic views of a man is supposed to be a man. You take everything on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was dabbling in a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like my kids would tell you I had moments where I had to hug them and cry. And you could tell they were shocked because they used to seeing me a certain way. But I had to teach my son that, nigga, you have emotions too, and I'm here to care for that.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I tell him I'm a big teddy bear.
You feel me?
Come to me instead of try to hide from me.
Yeah, it's like never like so that new age of man we talking about, right? Yeah. That gray area, right? So I got some solutions, and I want to dive into each one. So social connectedness.
Yeah, social connectedness. That's pretty much networking. You know, plant that seed. Keep those connections with friends and family, right? You know, reach out.
Right. We spoke about exercise already, but exercising your mind is more important too, because that fuels everything, like you said. Nutrition.
For me, got to keep a water with me. You know, yeah, we grew up drinking sodas and the juices.
Oh, God. Remember the blue Diet Pepsi cans? I used to drink the fuck out of those,
man,
bro.
And it's bad. But my brain doesn't stimulate without that H2O in my system. Yeah,
Facts, bro. Facts,
yeah.
bro.
It can be alkaline, but I can't lie. I grew up drinking hose water off the side of the,
side
of the house
for
too.
For real shit.
You know, hydration is hydration.
Water too. But it's spring water over here. Yeah. I mean, when I'm at Olash, yes, it's whatever they provide.
Exactly.
But when I'm by myself, it is spring water. Message. Sleep.
Hey, something we could all get more of.
Yeah.
I go through phases where, you know, I'm on grind mode, you know, I'm out and about, but I definitely take those days off, you know, and try to catch up, you know, try to keep that regulation.
Me and Relative, we be up early. Like sometimes we don't get no sleep. Like I don't know why, but something's like shifted with like I think the Space Federation, them aliens up there,
something about it
did something with the dial to the Matrix and made everybody feel this. It feel like early 2000s, late 90s again. Like,
yeah, I can't lie.
Because I ain't even mad about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like on a cloud. Like, all right, mindfulness. I think that's very important.
100%.
To be very mindful of people like to associate their opinions in your life. Does that make sense? Like, they 30. Like,
insert it. They won't even. You tell me you're going to AMC. How come you just don't go to Edwards? No, just go to Edwards, bro. They're cheaper. Like, just let the nigga go to AMC.
Exactly.
That's what he wanted to do.
Not being worried about what the others put onto you, you know.
Bruh.
Being comfortable in your own skin. And I practice what I preach. There's days where I'm very, you know, over analyzing of myself. But then I snap out of it, look in the mirror, you know, kind of just the fuck why, you know. I don't know them, they don't know me, and I'm not gonna ever see them again. So why is that gonna affect the way that I feel about myself? You know?
Damn, that's deep though. That's deep though.
It's a constant reminder.
It's a constant reminder because there's energy vampires out there.
Yeah.
And they're good at wanting to do that to you. You know what I'm talking about?
The good and the bad.
Yeah.
Some of them will be your closest family and friends, and you'll just get that energy like drained right out of you, and you wonder why. You know, kind of just stuck in your own little realm. You gotta build yourself back up and just keep that head strong. That's why I go right back to the mental health, man. Like, speak out if you need it. Like,
yeah, real talk. And honestly, one of these episodes, I want to put something up about that shit. I'm trying to start somewhere. There's something for men's mental health, but get you a therapist.
Yeah.
Get you a therapist with your insurance, okay? You can get it with Medi-Cal insurance too, okay? So it's very obtainable. Okay, now this is just to solutionize all the topics, the solutions, aggregate them, excuse me. Each one has an impact on your physical and mental health. By making simple and healthy choices on a daily basis, you will be well on your way towards reducing stress, having positive social interactions, and achieving optimal wellness.
It's pretty much practice what you preach, man.
Right.
You know, COVID had us all kind of feeling weird for a while, and I never really felt social anxiety till we kind of opened things back up and got put into that scene. And the more you have that repetition of the networking, of the exercise, the nutrition, all that plays a full circle, you know. And nowadays it comes natural, you know, to have. That's not so much a small conversation, but like you said, when we first met, it's like we already linked up.
Yeah, like literally, like
because like minds think alike, you know, and you know, real recognize real. It's all cliche, but you know, you see the true, you know, the true soul of somebody, versus just like their
exterior.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but it's crazy because, damn, you made me, like, I'm really realizing some. That shit scared the I thought somebody else was in the room. Nah, bro, you made me realize, like, I've never experienced that. I don't think anybody really did that was social their whole life. I didn't experience social anxiety until COVID ended, but I still worked. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I still worked around a lot of people because I worked in the trap. It was still open. But going to a store, when I came here, going to a store as outside of that life, it felt weird. Like, I felt it weird. Like, that's anxiety, social anxiety. You don't really want to be around people. You kind of move. You feel yourself move away from them. Like, when you're walking straight and you just,
That's exactly what it is. That's when your energy is shifted. And you know you've been in this situation before
like numerous times. Like, it's crazy, bro. Had to take off my sunglasses, man. I never do that on here. I try to keep the wowzer look. But now, Art, I want to thank you for answering these questions and giving your insight, especially about your merchandise about health and wellness, because I really want to dive into that this year, the importance of it, and like you said, practice what you're preaching, right?
Yeah.
Listeners, if you think I'm going to leave you with something deep, that's going to be next episode. I am your host, Mr. Wowzer. This is TDOC. We are out.
Anywhere, let's take a flight. Or we could do something different since we used to the high life. Favorite meal whipped in the kitchen. Let's Netflix and get high. You feel me?
Thanks for listening to the Dodi Connection. Be sure to follow and subscribe whenever you listen to your podcasts. To read the blog associated with this episode, visit olismedia.com. This episode was produced in studios located in San Diego, California. Lena Alvarez is co-producer. Serving as executive producer and co-founder is JC Polk, and Chad Peace is president and co-founder. Olas Media is an IVC media company.
Olas Media.
Now is the time for all countrymen to listen to Dear San Diego, a public affairs podcast with personality. Tony and Juan check bios at the door. They dive into who the icons are when they're away from work. Check out Dear San Diego at olismedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Nest is a podcast for those who are looking to go beyond degrees, webinars, and corporate titles. We talk fundraising strategies and career experiences with a side of fun and emotion. Take a listen to the next episode of From the Nest with Charity Jen, where fundraising takes flight. Follow or subscribe at olasmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.